All right, in today's video, we will be talking about AI research tools, user experiences, and realities. We're going to cut through all the hype and find out what really happens when people like you and me try to use these things. So this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? The big promise is that you can just hand off all that tedious work, the reading, the summarizing, finding sources, to an AI. But is that really how it works in the real world?
To get to the bottom of this, we didn't just play around with the software ourselves. We actually dug into hundreds of reviews from real users, from places like Reddit, G2, and Trustpilot. We wanted to hear the true story, the good, the bad, and, well, the really frustrating parts.
Okay, let's get into it. First things first, let's talk about what's actually working. Because when these tools hit the mark, they can be a total game changer, and users have some very clear favorites. The biggest win, and you see this over and over, is just pure speed. People absolutely love turning these huge, dense research papers into short, easy-to-digest summaries. They also get really excited about tools that can look at citations and tell you, hey, does this source actually support the claim, or does it just mention it? And when it comes to finding new research, those visual maps some tools make are a huge hit. That, and being able to search the live web for the latest info. This quote right here, it gets to the heart of something really powerful. See, it's not just about finding a list of papers. It's about understanding the conversation that's happening between them. Is one paper supporting another, or is it challenging it? That kind of analysis can save a researcher a ton of time. But, of course, that's only half the story. It turns out that for just about every feature that users love, there's a pretty serious problem lurking right around the corner. And some of these, honestly, are major deal breakers. So let's get into that reality check. These are the big complaints that just keep popping up again and again, no matter which tool we're talking about. And here it is. The single biggest, most dangerous complaint we found is this. The AI just makes stuff up. It will literally create fake citations that look 100% real, with authors and journal names and everything. You might hear this called hallucination. And to give you an idea of just how huge this problem is, check this out. One study found that 47%, that's nearly half, of the references an AI came up with were completely fake. They just didn't exist. Can you imagine putting that in your research paper? And this one single failure pretty much cancels out the main reason you'd use the tool in the first place. I mean, if you have to go back and manually double-check every single source the AI gives you, are you really saving any time? For a lot of users, the answer is a big fat no. And on top of the whole fake citation nightmare, users also get really frustrated with the more practical stuff. A lot of these tools have tiny free trials and then really high subscription costs. Some people even mention getting hit with unexpected yearly charges. They also tend to not work very well for super specific or niche topics. They can be slow and buggy, and if you need help, good luck finding customer support. Okay, so with all those pros and cons floating around in our heads, how do the actual tools stack up against each other? Let's take a look at 4 of the most popular options out there and see where they shine and where they don't, based on what real users are saying. Yeah, it's pretty clear there is no one-size-fits-all tool here. It really depends on what you need to do. If you're doing quick fact-checking on something happening right now, Perplexity AI is great because it searches the live web. But for a super deep dive into academic papers, Scite is a powerhouse, though it'll cost you. If you're just exploring a brand new field, Research Rabbit's visual maps are awesome. And hey, it's free. And if you've already got a bunch of PDFs, NotebookLM is fantastic for summarizing just the files you give it. So what does this all mean for you? If you're thinking about jumping in and using these tools, you've got to have a strategy. So here's a simple checklist to help you get all the good stuff while dodging the biggest problems. First up, always start with the free versions to see if a tool is even a good fit. Second, and this is the most important one, you have to verify every single citation. Don't trust it, just check it. Third, test it on your actual topic. It might be amazing for biology, but totally useless for 18th century art history. And finally, just know that you might actually need a couple of different subscriptions to get everything done, so plan your budget for that. So here's the bottom line. You need to think of these tools as a research assistant, not a research expert. They're a fantastic way to get started for organizing your thoughts, summarizing articles, and discovering new things, but they are not the finish line. The second you start trusting them to be your only source of truth, that's when your research could be in real trouble. So the question isn't whether AI can do your research for you, it's about how you can use it smartly to do better research yourself. Thanks for joining us on Best AI Apps Review channel. Until next time, keep exploring the future with AI.